Welcome to the annual Hart Men's Basketball Media Day. I'm your host, Hart correspondent Courtney Jackson. Next, we're joined by second-year head coach of the MidAmerica Nazarene University Pioneers, Adam Hefker, as well as Makai Elmore. Coach, how are you doing today?
We are doing great, Courtney. Thanks for having us.
All right. So year one for you leading your alma mater was last year, and it was quite successful as you led the Pioneers back to the NAIA National Tournament. How important was last year for your program as you continue to lead the way?
Yeah, I think it was a very important year. We, per our standards, had a really, really good year, and the messaging to our guys this offseason and this fall is we want a great year, which is a run in the national tournament for us. Because it was my first year and we got a taste in the national tournament, I think that's important for our guys, but it was just a taste. And hopefully that's inspiring us and fueling us this fall here to that's kind of been the bar. That's the standard now. And we want more than just one game in the national tournament. So it gives us an idea of what's out there. But one day at a time here, we're striving for a little bit more this season.
That's what we like to hear. Well, before we jump into more about this season, tell us about Makai, who's joining you today, and what he means to the team both on and off the court.
Yep, Makai started for us as a freshman last year at the point, which is incredibly hard to do. He's incredibly skilled. He plays really, really hard. He's growing as a leader, which we demand from the point guard position, and so we're really helping him and grooming him as a leader this year. And already this fall, he's been more vocal for us, which is critical from that position. Our big three, Anthony Brown, Caleb Jones-McCrary, and Ed Wright, get a lot of the attention, and rightfully so, because those three guys can flat out play. But Makai's going to take a lot of pressure off those guys this year, and we're going to put the ball in his hands more and let him become a playmaker for us, just because so many scouting reports and opponents will be focused in on those big three guys. So he's really, really good in crunch time for us. He's finding that balance of when to share that thing with the big three and then when to go make plays for himself. So he had a great summer. He was down here in Olathe with us all summer long. Kind of gave up his summer instead of being home, and it's showing for him early in the fall here.
Well, Makai, tell me what you hope to see from the team this year, what you learned on as an underclassman, and what you guys can improve on.
Yeah, as a team this year, I feel like we have more especially like with the new incoming freshmen that we have. I feel like I can lead the team more than last year. I was an incoming freshman as well, so I feel like I can lead the team more this year.
And tell me, what does it mean to you to put on that uniform each game and play for such a storied program like MidAm?
Yeah, I come from like a winning program myself from like high school, so I feel like I just bring a winning culture to here to MidAmerica.
And coach, your team was picked first in the Hart coaches poll and picked to win the Hart early in the season. What does that distinction mean to you and your team this early on?
Nothing, Courtney, at all. I got in trouble the other day because I didn't even tell my wife that. I guess that's important information, but honestly, it doesn't mean a thing. We appreciate the respect in a deep, deep league with incredible coaches and incredible players. But I mean, it's October. We're 3 weeks from playing, and it's a long, long season, and with 24 conference games this year, we're going to have to prove that over a long stretch. So we're going to have to find some consistency this year, but we just don't get caught up in that at all, Courtney, if I'm being honest. We are one day at a time, one possession at a time here, trying to maximize this team's ability.
Good. Well, you have a pretty tough non-conference schedule lined up early on in the year. Teams like Oklahoma Wesleyan, you guys have a trip to Arizona to face Rocky Mountain College and Carroll College. What are you hoping to see from your squad against those tough opponents?
Yeah, great question, Courtney. That schedule is on purpose. That's intentional. We only get 4 now with 28 games and 24 of them being conference games. So we didn't want any gimmies. We wanted to go play the best in the country, and then that's exactly what we're doing. So 2 of the best teams out of the KCAC in Bethel, who comes to our place on the 3rd, and then Oklahoma Wesleyan, who year in and year out is a top 10 team. And they're incredible on their home floor. I mean, they just rarely lose on their home floor. So for us to go there before we hop into our league play is huge. Win, loss, or draw, we're going to learn a lot from being down in that environment. And it gives us a chance to play some of our new guys here in a hostile environment and see what we're made of. We're going to know right away. So, and then we're fortunate this year to to get these guys out to some warm weather, we hope, in December, and beat the cold here for about a week. And we are going to play 2 games. We're going to stay an extra day out there and do some team stuff together. But as you mentioned, I mean, we play 2 good teams out of the Frontier out there as well. So our non-con will have us prepared for our conference. And that's, I mean, in my mind, that's exactly what your non-conference schedule should do.
And tell me who some of those other returners are who are going to help lead this team, as well as some of those newcomers that get to use those couple weeks to readjust and get acclimated.
Yep. So we bring back, Courtney, 3 all-conference players. Anthony Brown is a 6'5" wing force, and Ed Wright is a 6'3" wing force. They were both first-team all-conference. Both had phenomenal years last year. 2 of the best guards in our conference, and especially when you throw in this guy. Our backcourt is unbelievable. And then second-team all-conference, our starting post, 6'8" Caleb Jones-McCrary will be a senior for us. He averaged about 14 and 9 rebounds last year. So that's our big 3. Makai at the point. We bring back Jake Alexander, who's a COVID senior for us this year, 5th year. So very experienced and veteran group. And then we bring back Brooks Langer, who I think is the best 6th man in our conference. He came off the bench for us and is just a spark, shoots it really, really well, is an unbelievable teammate. And then we get to start mixing in some of our new guys as well. Caden Caberline, who'll be a sophomore for us. We expect to back up the center position this year. We signed 4 freshmen, and I think 2 or 3 of those guys have proven this fall that they deserve to play. Gerard Bosch is a incoming freshman from Sunrise Christian in Wichita, 6'7" kid who rebounds it and shoots it. Isaiah Cole from Olathe Northwest has had a really good fall for us here early this year. He plays really, really hard. Elijah Voss out of Des Moines, another freshman, and then Caleb Carr wraps up our recruiting class. So Makai mentioned it. We have more depth this year, which we're excited about. I think we can play 8, 9, 10 guys early. And then, of course, we'll get that cut down once we get into league play. But it's exciting to have so much depth. It's made our practices better and more competitive this fall.
Yeah, I know, definitely a good thing to have, especially in a league that plays so fast. Makai, tell me from a player's perspective, not many NAIA teams get to go travel to play regular season games. From a player, how excited are you to do that? And how do you want to use that week to get to know your teammates a little better?
Yeah, I feel like that's great for us, like before we start conference play. I feel like it's going to be a great bonding for the team for when we go away. Just great bonding, yeah.
We'll talk about your team a little bit. What are some of your favorite things to do off the court with your teammates? Any places around town that you guys frequent?
We just really play the game. We be bonded on 2K. We play, yeah, just a lot of bonding. We just 2K, talk trash on game and like everything like that.
And then I'll throw another fun question in there for you. If you could play one-on-one against any basketball legend, past or present, who would it be and why?
I feel like LeBron James. That's my favorite player, but like I feel like my hometown is well, my home state is Ohio, and I feel like that's my state. So I'll take on that LeBron.
There you go. What about you, Coach?
I don't recognize that name, LeBron James. So I think it would be the GOAT, Michael Jordan. That's an ongoing debate, Courtney, with our guys, of course, who grew up in the LeBron James era. Both greats, but I grew up a Jordan guy. So while he would bury me, it would be a lot of fun to play him one-on-one.
You know what? You guys are not the first coach-athlete combination to have those opinions today.
Yeah,
well, Coach, let's talk. Once you do get to Heart Play, what do you hope that a Coach Hepgard squad is going to look like?
Yeah, great question. We want to control the controllables, Courtney. So it's and these guys hear this every day. It's as simple as an unbelievable attitude, great effort, and great energy. Those things, whether we're at home, whether we're on the road, doesn't matter who we're playing, we can control. And we want our opponent to think we're relentless in that way. Like these guys just won't waver. They keep playing hard, and we just can't get rid of these guys. So we're going to control those every night out. And then on the floor, we want to guard so that we can rebound and run. We love to play fast. Makai allows us to do that with his pace. That's kind of been a staple of our program for years, and that won't change. We want to be in transition and see if we can get easy baskets before that defense is set. So, despite us bringing quite a bit back, we continue to tinker with our defense and with our offense and trying to get more aggressive in different spots. So we're certainly not going to just because we had a good year last year, assume that's going to happen again. We got to make it happen again every day. And these guys are bought into what we're teaching, and it's been a lot of fun so far this fall.
Yes, got to keep it fresh, and it sounds like you got a good team to do it with. Well, Coach Mackay, thank you for joining us for Media Day, and best of luck to the team this winter.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Courtney.